In this video, I'm going to break down the third wing of the new Dark Citadel Co-Op Dungeon in Diablo 4 Vestibule of Hatred, Dominion of Zagraal. This will cover each and every single area, as well as all of the new major boss mechanics. Just as a quick note, this video was recorded during an early preview build of the game, so some aspects may change at or post-launch. Congrats on completing the Labyrinth of Souls. After returning to the ancient Nexus, to move into the Dominion of Zagraal, you'll want to head to the doorway at the top of the area. The first area is called the Vestibule of Divinity. Like the previous two wings, we start with a Khazra treasury room. If you want to hunt down the treasury wardens to bolster your rewards, take a moment to do so, and then find the doorway to the experimental Nexus. Similar to the Labyrinth of Souls, you'll find triangular portals here, encapsulated by a small dome. But there isn't just one portal here, there are two. Have members of your party split up and stand on the buttons on both sides of this dome to expose these portals. You'll need 2 players inside each portal, so if you only have 2, work together to complete one side first. If you accidentally split up, you can click the unknown portal inside to head out and rejoin the other player. If you have 4 players, you can split up and do both of these simultaneously. Once inside, you'll have to split up and stand on the 2 buttons to free the pair of ward guardians, and eliminate them. Each of them will drop a ward stone that you can claim and insert into the ceiling wards. From there, you can use the unknown portal to return to the previous room. Once both sides are completed, you can move on to the Exalted Cloister. This is another Khazra treasury room. Complete it and head to the next doorway. You'll then find yourself in the Chamber of Echoes. You'll notice a statuesque creature here, and a button on the ground in front of it. Spell Guardians will spawn here, and drop counter spell essence when they're defeated. Looting this will modify your action bar, replacing all of the current abilities with a new one. If you activate the button on the floor, the statue will become activated and begin launching large green soul orbs at you. Stand in the way of this orb and use your new ability buttons to cause an AoE blast around you that will knock the orb back at the statue. This will activate a gateway under its feet that you can use to transport yourself back to the Exalted Cloister and into the Spiritcallers Sanctum. Here, you'll take on a duo of bosses, Hurstt and Vorshok, the Spiritcallers. They'll quickly become immune and launch a barrage of spirit attacks on you. Spell Guardians will spawn, which will drop counterspell essence at their feet. Loot these essence, and similar to the previous challenge, you'll use these to knock back attacks from the bosses. When you see the green soul orb telegraph, stand in the way of this orb and use the counterspell essence to knock it back at the boss. This will cause a portal to spawn at the boss's feet, which you and the boss can travel through. Once you're on the other side of the portal, you'll be able to damage the boss. Once the bosses are defeated, you can return back to the main area and collect your loot. From here, we'll move on to the Path of the Immortal, which is the final treasury warden room. Once you reach the end of this room, take the doorway to the Throne of Zagraal. This is the final boss encounter of the Dark Citadel. After defeating the Khazra Breathtakers, channeling the boss, Zagraal the Eternal will spread his wings and soar onto the battlefield. He'll immediately summon a portal that you'll want to take alongside of him. Once through this portal, Zagraal will be vulnerable. He has a few obviously telegraphed attacks in this phase, and you should be able to handle it quickly. After a certain amount of time, he'll move to the edge of the room and spawn large beam attacks that are telegraphed on the ground. Avoid these beams while continuing to damage Zagraal down. Once Zagraal becomes invulnerable, have your team head to the top of the arena to activate the 2 buttons on both sides of the conduit. Once the conduit is exposed, activate it. This will cause Zagraal to spawn his portal again. You'll want to take it back with him. Once you're back to the main room, slay the monsters around the arena until you kill enough to activate the soul siphons. Once they're activated, each player will notice a sigil floating above their head. You'll also find a new timer at the top right, labeled Soul Entanglement. Your objective here is to satisfy the siphons, and once they're completed, they'll spawn a Ritual Guardian. When defeated, the Ritual Guardians will drop ritual sigils, and you want to claim the one that matches the symbol above your head. Once all players have dispelled their symbols, Soul Entanglement is removed. Zagraal will once again leap into the arena, and you'll be reunited with your best friend, Impending Doom! From here, you'll need to find a Spell Guardian, and defeat him to obtain a Counterspell Essence. Like the previous encounters, you'll need to use the Counterspell Essence to reflect the Soul Orb back at Zagraal. Doing this will force another portal. Take this portal and repeat the cycle. Damage Zagraal as much as you can while he's vulnerable, as he's only vulnerable for a limited time. Once he becomes invulnerable again, you can then reactivate the conduit and take his portal back to the main area. Repeat this process of defeating monsters to activate the soul siphons, satisfying the soul siphons, defeating the ritual guardian, and cleansing the symbols over your head. Once this is done, you'll once again have to find a spell guardian, obtain a counterspell essence, and deflect the soul orb at Zagraal. You'll have to repeat this process as many times as it takes to get Zagraal's health down to 0. At this point, he'll drop a portal to return you to the main room one final time, and award you with your loot. Congratulations, you've just completed the Dark Citadel. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe, and head over to twitch.tv/Rizarjay, where I'll be streaming Vessel of Hatred almost every single day. Thanks for watching!